Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the collective, all signs. Collective, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Link services and donations page, my official Instagram and TikTok, all in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. So everyone, I hope that you're doing well. This is just a special reading as the day that this reading is coming out, it is a major holiday in the United States where I live. It is Thanksgiving. And while the holiday itself may come with a lot of issues, the general sentiment of it now is one of gratitude, is one of thankfulness, of coming together with family. And so I thought I would do a reading today to ask Spirit how they are grateful for you, how Spirit is looking at you as this beautiful miracle and part of them, part of the divine. And so I'm going to get a reading for that. Sorry, I hear all the sirens, so it's like they're saying this is important. This is an important message that they want to convey to you. All the things that they are proud of you. Not that Spirit would judge us per se, but it's difficult to be in the Earth School, and this is what they want to recognize today. And just for fun, I put on the cover of this this reading a picture from this deck, the Food Fortunes deck, which I thought was just so hilarious when I bought it. I've never used it before. I could do an entire tarot reading from this deck, I guarantee you, because the cards are just prompts, right? But I was like, I know they have to have a turkey in here somewhere, because turkey is the traditional Thanksgiving food that we serve on this holiday. So whether you're, watching from another country and you just like to get a channeled message, I welcome you. And I thank you so much. I am very grateful to all of you. So I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one, the White Witch Tarot, which only has the major arcanas. So I wanted to get an overall energy from that deck. And I'm actually going to be using oracles for your reading today, the wisdom of the oracle. Just because it's the holiday and I just wanted to have the reading have a different kind of feel. This is all about Spirit's gratitude to you. So I'm going to take an overall energy. This is for the collective. What would Spirit like to say? Okay. The Hermit, number 9 of the major arcana. This is Virgo energy. Spirit is showing me that you've been working very hard on your spiritual awakening and ascension. It's probably the reason why you've found yourself a tarot, found yourself looking for a distinct kind of guidance. Lots of sirens today. Wanting to highlight the fact that this is never an easy energy. Whenever we're going through the Hermit mode or the Hermit card energy, we're retreating within ourselves. We are asking the really big questions. Thank you, Spirit. Like, what is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? How am I here to serve humanity? How am I here to up-level my life? What are the secrets involved and the answers involved in order to do all of that? What do I still have yet to heal? What have I healed already? It's all of these things. And whether you're doing that in an isolated space of meditation, or you're doing that in a community, getting together with like-minded people and asking these kinds of questions. Perhaps you're reading, trying to find answers through sacred texts or books of fiction even. Why not? It's when we read, I saw a couple quotes When you read, you develop your capacity for empathy. You develop that skill. When we read books, we place ourselves in the shoes of another. So all of these things kind of add up to who we are. And Spirit is saying that they can see very clearly that not only are you asking the big questions, but that you are communing with them, that you are realizing that you have a spirit team, and that there is genuine love and high vibration to be found there. You may not know how to access it all the time completely. You may have doubts from time to time, but this is what they're grateful for right now. It's the fact that you're putting the work in. It's difficult. There are tears. There are always tears in this process as you're purging, right? So I'm going to get 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle to see what the energies are of how Spirit is grateful for you. Okay. So, past, present, future, advice from Spirit. In your past, number 37 reduces to a 10, the Wheel of Fortune card and the major arcana of the tarot, Jupiter energy, the planet of expansion, this planet that has so much gravity, so much weight to it that, I don't know if it actually, yes it does, that it brings together all of the asteroids in the asteroid belt and protects us so that we don't get pummeled by them. Right? Jupiter provides us with so much potential in our fortune, in our good fortune, in the possibilities of what we can accomplish. In the past, you got Never-Ending Story. So I never finished the movie, The Never-Ending Story. I'm really sorry to those loyalists out there who just love that movie. It is a classic. I could not get through it. I don't really understand why people enjoy it. It seemed kind of depressing. Not that I don't like depressing things, but couldn't get through it. But anyway, the movie might have some significance to you, but you can see here this kind of sprite or fairy is sitting on top of a sand, wait, what is it called? A time turner? No, what is it called? An hourglass. Oh my God. Why couldn't I think of that, Spirit? An hourglass. I think there's something here that speaks to your past lives. You can see the heart in the center there. Let me turn on my light. I just want to, I never have my reading glasses, and I always say I should come with my reading glasses, but it's, okay, this heart also has like an arrow, almost like a compass, and some of the words say yes, no, me, you, love, right? So kind of like as if in every lifetime you kind of like spun it and to see what kind of outcome you would get, right? There's also a mirror here, a mirror. So what Spirit is telling me in your past, in the past energy, I think you were looking at legacies. So even if it's past lives or things from your past, you were looking at the legacy that had thus been established. The stories that you told yourself, the narratives that were passed down to you about who you were supposed to be. Our family always does this. This is just how things are. And it's this sense that you've kind of given it a lot of contemplation and decided for yourself which story you were going to uphold and which story you were going to let go. Because just because there are family legacies, it's not to in any way suggest that they're bad. It's just to say that there's been something established, and there comes a time in our lives where we have to decide if we're going to continue to establish it, if we're going to continue on with it, or say, you know what, that never served anyone before in my family, and I'm going to be the one that says no. I'm going to be the one that maybe stands up for myself or carves out a new path. But I can see here it comes with a lot of contemplation in the look. Whenever somebody has their hand on their forehead, it kind of denotes a fatigue, or just an exhaustion or frustration. So there was some kind of frustration in your past energy here, having to deal with legacies. You know, Spirit is telling me, so I've never brought this out, I don't think, on my channel, but in this jar, I have a bunch of things in here. There's some like crystals, some runes, but I have charms, and Spirit is asking me to bring out a charm for each of these cards as a clarifier. So I'm going to do that. So, wow. This one's pretty loaded. So this one is the cross. This is the cross. And I just bought a whole bunch of charms and threw them in this thing. So it's not talking about like Christianity in particular. It's just representing kind of religion. It could talk about Christianity in particular, take it as it resonates. But to me, and please forgive me, like I don't want to misspeak because I am not Christian, so I'm not trying to misspeak, but the idea of this Christ-like figure, Christ on the cross, it kind of represents sacrifice. It represents holiness, connection to God, source, the divine. It can also represent on earth organized religion. So take it as it resonates. Either you are really stepping into your faith, you're stepping into it wholly and completely and fully, or completely stepping out of it, perhaps. Take it as it resonates. But there's something about religion here that you have perhaps been questioning. And that's precisely what we should do with everything. If it's always been established that you were some faith in your family lineage, and you ask the question, why, you may come to discover the more questions you ask, the more you fall in love with your faith. Just because we're asking questions doesn't mean that what we discover doesn't align with us. There is the possibility that it does not align, right? And I think a lot of people are in fear of that when we question it. But to me, it seems like the more you question something because you want to understand shows a deep respect. That's just my school of thinking. That's how I try to live my life, right? So like for me with spirituality, a lot of times spirituality and science, people like to separate those things, whereas I like to explore more. Like, okay, if there isn't a spiritual explanation, if there's a scientific explanation, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it and embrace that. But absent of proof, sometimes we just have to rely on faith and belief, right? So there's something having to do with your faith system with this never-ending story card. It feels very profound, feels very deep, it feels very hermit. So in the present energy, number 27, a 9 again, the Hermit card. Exchanging gifts. Exchanging gifts. And immediately, well, first of all, how cute is that cat? Immediately, the gifts is not something a physical gift. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing your spiritual gifts, like your clair abilities. So spirit is, it's almost as if they've kind of illuminated for you what your spiritual gifts are, and they're coming to the fore, they're coming to the surface. And in this present energy, you're kind of embracing them, and they're so happy for you that you're finally kind of like the veil has been lifted, right? And I don't know why, but there's also playfulness. There's a, like, this sprite or fairy, she's kind of dancing. She's playing with the cat here. There's a playfulness energy. Also an elegance. Spirit wanted me to say an elegance. There's an elegance to the way that you exhibit your gifts or have been using your gifts. So, for example, I don't know, if you're clairvoyant or something, or clairsentient, right? The deep understanding, the deep knowing, the ability of sight, right? The way that you use it is for good. It's for the light. It's to help others. It's to provide wisdom and guidance. So that's what I see. It's really beautiful. It affirms the Hermit energy. So, the charm that you got, this is kind of a strange depiction of it, but it's like an angel. It's the angel wings. I wouldn't be able to tell you what angel that's supposed to represent, but it represents an angel. So almost as if you have the archangels around you as part of your spirit team. So I don't know if you identify with the archangels or this is like a new concept to you, but I would read about them. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Azrael, they're Jophiel, they're all sorts of archangels, and all of them kind of Metatron, they all kind of focus. Each archangel has a focus, and Michael seems to be the one that people kind of go to a lot, but there are all sorts of focuses that each of the archangels have. So they're kind of telling me to look them up, read about them, and whatever one really speaks to your heart is the one that you can call upon for guidance, very specifically for guidance. But there's something playful. So I don't know if you all work very closely with your archangels already, or if you work closely with your spirit guides, but I always like to say that my spirit guides are really funny, because they are funny. I mean, they're also really profound, but whenever my spirit guides come through really, really strongly, sometimes they're sarcastic, sometimes they make fun of me a little bit, and it's good because I can make fun of myself, but there's a playfulness to some of my spirit guides that I'm so grateful for, because life is hard, and when you do this kind of work, sometimes you have to deliver messages that are not so pleasant, and we have to maintain a sense of humor. I mean, Spirit gave us a sense of humor on this planet for a reason, because like if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, and it's important for us to experience the whole gamut of emotions, and there's something playful about this particular archangel for you. Really beautiful. I mean, so far we've gotten two kind of religious charms or faith-based charms. There are all sorts of things in here There are bees and like things like this, and like stars and good luck charms and motorcycles and guitars and all sorts of things. So far we've gotten 2 charms of a religious or faith-based nature. So the future potential, number 14, which corresponds to the Temperance card of the Major Arcana Sagittarius energy, the card of alchemization, patience, turning base metals into gold, pain into power. It's the card of transmutation. Truth be told. Truth be told. Look at this little owl is so wide-eyed. But it kind of speaks to this release energy. Look at all those hearts. It's almost like in your future, once we've maybe stepped out of the hermit energy and rejoined the world again, as it were, right? The hermit goes to from the 9 we go to the 10, the Wheel of Fortune card. Once we recognize our gifts, heal our inner child, our traumas, ask those big questions, we emerge with spirit by our side, the divine, Mother Nature, like connectedness to whatever you ascribe to. Then it's almost like the floodgates open and we realize just how much we have to give the world. Now that doesn't have to look like you being a bleeding heart or like altruistic to a fault. It's not about that. It's just about this expression of our true nature. And by doing so, by showing others our true nature, we inspire. When you know who you are and you vibrate at the level of authenticity, you cannot help but to inspire others. It's just a foregone conclusion. It's just how it is. Authenticity is the highest vibrational kind of person. You inspire simply by being yourself. But with the 14, the Temperance card, in order to reach that authenticity, we're constantly having to transmute. Because just because you're vibing high, an authentic self doesn't mean that things don't hurt you. It's the acknowledging that things affect you deeply, but then turning that into something you can use, turning that into something that is productive, that is worthwhile, essential to your being, to then turn it into something you can even be grateful for. I'm so grateful for the adversity that I've had in the past because it made me the person that I am today. And there's some revelation with that, truth be told. Some grand revelation that you're going to have. Let's get a charm. Look at this, see? Sorry, they're small. It's a little hammer. See that? Maybe if I put it up against my shirt. It's a little hammer. Getting to work. Being able to use your hands. It's like fortitude energy, strength energy with this hammer. Also makes me think of Thor, right? What was it with Thor? Only the worthy, the truly worthy, could wield Thor's hammer. And the other person that turned out to be was Captain America, but whatever. I don't disagree with that, but it's just kind of, that was a random element. But piecing things together, building things from scratch, it's almost like the metaphorical hammer that you've been using to kind of build to build your sanctuary, to build your palace, to build your stability. But it does, Spirit is saying it's important about getting to work. The work. The spiritual work. I'm going to pull one more. They want me to pull one more. Binoculars. Do you see that? Binoculars. Cute. Looking at things closely, but also from a distance. So kind of hanged man energy, like honing in on something, like zeroing in on something from a great distance. Almost like Spirit, right? I mean, Spirit is right there with you, but they're also everywhere all the time. And okay, they just, yeah, they just said it's just like hard for you to understand that they zero in just on you, that they focus just on you. There are 8 gazillion people, billion people in the world. Why would Spirit focus on little old me? But they are. They're looking. They're watching. Now it's time for you to watch, to look closely, to open your eyes. Something about the eyes. I focused on the eyes because they're so large, almost cartoonish. It's time for you to look closely, for you to observe. Observe what? Observe the miracles. Observe the synchronicities. They're not coincidences. So from the 14, the last card is our advice from Spirit. It's at number 15. And that is unusual because you got 37, 27, 14, and 15. It's unusual because this deck has been used so many times. So to get 2 cards in succession like that, it's like an up-leveling. This is advice from Spirit. Message in a bottle. You can see the telephone there. It's precisely this, right? Now that your eyes are opening, right? You have eagle eyes now. Eagle eyes. Two eyes to look, one eye to see, right? Something about your third eye opening. They're going to be sending you a lot of downloads. And how do you know if it's your own voice or the voice of Spirit? You're only going to really know that the closer that you know yourself. So like when I channel messages, it's almost as I'm present with you, but it's almost as if I step aside, like my ego has to step aside for a moment to just say whatever is filtering through. Yes, it sounds like my voice in my head, but it's just allowing for the flow. So there's a mastery that is happening with you right now where you're just allowing for flow. You're not putting a halt to it. You're not overanalyzing it and say, you know, if Spirit says, go into this shop or talk to this person, you're not necessarily going to sit there and overanalyze it. Oh, should I, shouldn't I, should I? You just go. You go with your impulse. You go with your instinct. That's Spirit. You're going to have a lot of messages coming in for you. Are you going to pick up the phone? Are you going to listen? They're asking you to. Number 15. 15 corresponds to the Devil card in the Major Arcana. The temptation might be to remain where things are comfortable. The Devil keeps us trapped and bound in our comfort, in our status quo. So Spirit is kind of asking you to really look at that. Step outside of the status quo. This is beautiful. It's the bee. It's a bee. So other than sweet reward and honey, I feel like this is a spirit guide talking to me too. It also talks about vibration. The bees are talking about efficiency, community, and vibration, and healing, right? You listen, there are videos on YouTube where they just record bee sounds, buzzing sounds. It's very healing vibration. So you're up leveling your vibration now. And there might be some devil energy that wants to kind of hold you back, hold the ego back in comfort. Resist it. Try your best to listen to spirit. Listen to your own intuition. This is what your spirit guides are grateful for. The divinity that is you. This beautiful questioning, looking deep within, communing with spirit, and up-leveling yourself. It's gorgeous energy. So, collective, that's your reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. And to all my American friends, happy Thanksgiving.